Good morning, eighth grade. Today we're going to set up the task for 3.4. I have a warm-up for us to finish, numbers 2, 3, and 4, and then some things to think about before we get started. Good morning, guys. Hi, Ruby. Hi, Kevin. Hi, Mr. Casamento. Ruby and Kevin, while we're waiting for more people to join in, I would like you to take a look at number 2, 3, and 4 of the warm-up and see if you could find the value of x that makes the equation true. Number 1 has already been done in a previous session. Jacqueline said that x has to be 6 because 6 times 6 is 36. If you take a look at the assignment that was posted for 3.4, there is a chart that is similar to this one. It's not exactly the same. It does have more perfect squares listed on it. It goes up to 400. Good morning, Thais. How are you? But this is the one that I would like to keep showing you for the purposes of the warm-up. So as you can see, for this one right here, Jacqueline said that 6 squared is 36. So for number 1, x has to be 6. So what I need you guys to do right now is to please find the value of x for 2, 3, and 4 that make it true, and only in fraction form, please. No decimals for now. When you have it, please chat it and tell us your reasoning. Hi, Escalin. How are you? Okay, any answers yet, guys, or any questions that are keeping you away from this? Because this is just a warm-up. What value of x is going to make this true? If I square it, I'm going to end up with 9/4. If I square it, I'll end up with 1/4. And don't forget that you can refer to the chart. If you need to, just go to the latest classwork assignment, pull up a chart. It looks similar to this. This one I like, but it was very tiny, so I had to blow it up, and then I just printed it out so I could show you. I could probably scan this and attach this also if you like this one better. But the one that's on Google Classroom right now with this assignment is a list of perfect squares from 1 to 400. Okay, as soon as you have an answer, please chat it because we really need to get this task set up. If we have time at the end, I'll shift into office hours for anyone who needs me to. No answers yet, guys. I'm not. You gotta help me out. Understand why you're stuck. If you're stuck, if you're not stuck and you're simply just doing something else, that's a different story. And I just really need your attention for about 15 minutes to get this test set up. This video has to be posted with the assignment for people who are not participating now. All right, all I need you guys to do is discover what is X, a lot like what Jacqueline came up with over here. Do you guys have questions about these three? Is there something, blocking your thought process? Do you need a minute? What's going on? Talk to me. All right, Thais is saying that number 2 would have to be 3 halves. Okay, why is it 3 halves? Explain. X is 3 halves. Okay, why? Why is that 3 halves? And Kevin, Ruby, Escalin, do you agree with what Thais is saying? Thais says that because I checked it, but I got it by just dividing 9/4 by 2, and then checked it to see if it equals 9/4, and it does. Okay, so dividing 9/4 by 2. So I want you to humor me for a moment. And Kevin, Ruby, and Escalin, it's going to be really important that you're part of this conversation. Thais has X equals 3 halves, right? So she says she checked it. However, she's also saying that the way she found it was to take 9/4 and divide it by 2. And I need to know if you guys agree or disagree with that. Oh, Escalin already said yes, that she agrees. Okay, what about with her reasoning? What about with Thais's reasoning? And just for a moment, I'm going to come over here, and hopefully the angle is not too bad. But you're saying that you divided 9 and 4 by 2. All right, so what's 9 divided by 2? And what's 4 divided by 2? All right, Kevin says 2. So I'm assuming that you mean this one. How about this one? And then I also see Thais saying never mind. But actually, Thais, we really need to go through this because this is a very popular misconception. Okay, Kevin says that this is 4.5. Okay, so that means that we have to talk about a couple of things. Okay, Thais is saying that she made a mistake. Okay, tell me what mistake you made. Because you have Escalon agreeing with your answer, and this is a different answer, so talk to us. Let me hear what you're figuring out now. You might be typing, Thais, but this was not the only thing that you said. You said the way you got it was to divide by 2, but you also said that you checked it. And if you checked it, you most likely did something that made you think you had the right answer. So what did you do to check the work? And Escalin, what made you say yes to Thais when she said, okay, I think this one is 3 halves? Let me show you guys the paper again, just in case it helps. And anytime you want to see this, just let me know. And then when I'm done with office hours today, I will scan it and attach it to this assignment along with the other perfect square ones, because then you'll have 2. Anyone? I'll give you a minute. Maybe you're typing. Okay, the division part is my mistake. Okay, that would be this part. I was using a calculator and writing down my work. I did get 3 halves, but I don't have my explanation yet. Okay, well, we have other people in chat, and they need to do their part in this too. So, all right, so this is obviously the logic part that's incorrect. In order to discover what x is in this situation, we're not going to divide by 2. So, but she still believes that this is the correct answer, and it does seem like Escalin is still standing by her. So is it? And how, if it is, how do we check it? And is anybody else here besides Ruby, Kevin, Escalin, and Thais that just didn't say hi yet? If you're here, just say hi. That way Mr. Casamento and I could take attendance. Let's see what we have. Ah, now we've woken up. Oh boy. Okay, so now Thais is bringing in some other logic. She says we could check it because 3 halves times 3 halves is going to give us 9/4. Okay, so that's obviously true, right? 3 times 3 is 9, 2 times 2 is 4. And I've been showing you this paper here. The square root symbol might be really light, and I think before I scan it, I'll just make sure. I'll get a little closer. Square root of 1 is 1 because 1 squared is 1. And when you have something squared, it means to multiply it by itself, right? Okay, so I think it's safe to say that this is correct. And if that's correct, then that means that Ruby, Kevin, Escalin, you guys should be able to give me, someone should be able to give me the answer to number 3. Someone should be able to give me the answer number 4. So I'm sorry, Thais, but you're not allowed to answer number 3 or number 4. So far, you're doing a great job. And while they're trying to answer 3 and 4, this is a question that you guys could think about that I think will help you explain this. And I guess we could use let's use the square root of 9 as an option. There, I made it darker. That's way better. So I'll do that for all of them before I scan it. It says here that the square root of 9 equals 3, since 3 squared equals 9. Okay? What is the relationship between taking the square root and actually doing the square of a number? What is the relationship between these two functions or these two operations? Now we have here an answer from Kevin. All right, Kevin, let's test it out. Ruby, Escalin, Thais, do you agree with Kevin? I really like that you're trying, Kevin. I need you. Oh, hi, Dagny, how are you? All right, so let's see. Kevin is saying that if we have a half over 2 times a half over 2, we will get 1 over 4. So obviously 2 times 2 is 4. Is a half times a half. If I do a half times a half, do I get a whole? Thais agrees. Would you guys check that? Oh, wait. She says wait. Okay, I'm waiting because I was going to tell you guys to wait. Think about money. Yeah, think about money, guys. I'm focused up here. A half times a half. A half times a half. If you want to put it in the calculator the way he wrote it, put 0.5 times 0.5. Do you get 1? What do you get? Because you should not get 1. If you add them, you will get 1. 50 cents plus 50 cents is $1. If you multiply them, what do you get? You do not get 1. What do you get? Hello. What do you get? Dagny, Chinese, Kevin, Escalin, and Ruby. Yes, Mr. Casamento, that's correct. That's what I just wrote down. Okay, Kevin is saying that if we do 0.5 times 0.5, we're actually going to get 0.25. And since 0.25 is not 1, I need you guys to come up with a different numerator. This is correct. 2 times 2 is 4, and I got the 4 here. I have to get this on top. So what number has to be here? What number has to be here? And I'm going to get 1. No. Please don't think that. Please do not think that that was a dumb answer. We will often get addition and multiplication mixed up sometimes. It's not an issue. It's okay. It is not a dumb answer. We talked about this, Kevin. We talked about the fact that part of learning is making mistakes along the way. And it doesn't matter how silly you think that the answer could be. The fact of the matter is that you make it so that you learn it the right way. Now, come on, let's finish this up. What number do I put here? Just in your eyes, redeem yourself. What number do I put here? If I multiply it by itself, do I get 1? Okay, cool. See? That was not so bad, okay? 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 2 is 4, which means over here that x has to equal a half. Nice job so far, guys. We're almost done with the warm-up. Okay, that leaves us with one last one, and this means that Thais and Kevin are not allowed to answer. So that means Dagny, Escalin, or Ruby. I need you guys to answer number 4, please. We have 3 examples up on the board for you, and the logic is in the chat. We have that x squared has to be equal to 49 over 25. Please find the value of x that makes that equation true. Many values will make it false, but what will make it true? And if you need, here, I'll leave this up for a moment. I didn't make all of them dark yet, but those are all square roots on the left. Square root of 9 equals 3 because 3 squared is 9. Anybody? Dagny, Ruby, Escalin. Kevin and Thais, you can still be thinking about what I asked you, the question about how do the square root functions and squaring a number, how do those functions relate with one another? You guys could be answering that. So you don't get to, just sit there and take a vacay. I do need you actively thinking about what's going on. Other than that, Dagny, Ruby, and Escalin, I need you to answer. Someone needs to answer number 4 for us, please. We have to move on. Wait, miss, I need help. How is that? How is what? Ask your question, please, and we'll help you out. Number 1, 2, and 3 have been done already. I'm looking for either you, Dagny, or Ruby to help us with number 4. Jacqueline from a previous stream did number 1 for us. Thais did number 2. Kevin did number 3. So just ask any question you need to, and we'll help you out. And here, I finally, really quick, just darkened all the square root symbols so that they came out nice and clear now. If this helps you out, actually, it really should help you out with number 4, because it's one of the reasons why I have it here. Okay, I don't think you need this here anymore because you know that Ms. Leggett wants you to work with fractions. Let's move that. Ruby, Dagny, you're very quiet. Are you still here? We need your participation. Come on. Oh, okay. And now we have to set up. Okay. Okay. Hey, Dagny. I need you, Eskelin, and Ruby to team up and answer number 4 for us. Before we move on. Eskelin, do you have a question for us that's going to help clear things up? Were you asking, like, why is that a half? We proved here that a half squared, take the whole fraction, square it, it's going to equal 1/4 because a half times a half is a fourth. 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 2 is 4. This is how that is true, if that's what you were asking. Because I see that you said, how is that? So maybe you were talking about that. I don't know. Don't forget you have this at your disposal. There's something very similar online for your most recent task. Wait, I think that I have an idea, but I'm not sure. So 5, which is 25. Oh, okay. You want me to put the paper back up? In the paper, yes, you're right. Go with it. The square root of 25 is right here. Square root of 25 is 5, and that is part of what we're looking for, right? Is everything okay? Are you feeling all right? But you're very warm, so I think you should go with it. And then maybe Dagny and Ruby can help out instead of staying so quiet. And for 49, it's 7, right? Absolutely. So put that all together, please. You know more than you think. If you put both of those answers together that you just said, square root of 25 is 5 and square root of 49 is 7, then what does x have to equal? Nice job. What does x have to equal when you put all that together that you just figured out? Escalin, if you put it all together, what does x have to be? Because you got it. You just have to put it, you have to make it an official value. What does x have to be? Escalin? Jacqueline, are you still with us there? Okay, I just need you to put your answer together because you did a really great job of breaking it down. You said the square root of 49 is 7, the square root of 25 is 5. So what does x have to equal? You see like how we have x equals 3 halves here, x equals 1 half here. What does x have to equal here? Okay, if we did 7, then we would say 7 times 7 is 49. So that gives us our numerator, but what about our denominator? So 7 over 2 or 5. Okay, go with one of them. Which one do you want to try? And we'll test it out. Which one? 7 times 7 is 49. Which one do you want to put here? 5? 5 times 5 is 25. So nice job. You guys agree with her or disagree? So that means Ruby, Kevin, Thais, Dagny. Do you guys agree with her or disagree? We have x equals 7/5. If I square the whole fraction, Escalon says we get to 49 over 25. Is that true or false? Okay, cool. All right, nice job, guys. So that's the warm-up, and it'll help you understand what's coming next. Let's continue to set this up. Now, what's going to happen with this task, 3.4, is we're going to be looking to approximate the square root of 2 to the best of our ability. We've been doing that, right? So would you guys help me, like what we've normally been doing? Like, remember, Thais would say, oh, well, this one is in the middle of these two, so I think it's this, okay? What's the square root of 1? What's the square root of 4? What do we want to estimate the square root of 2 to be? Anybody? What's the square root of 1? What's the square root of 4? And what do we want to approximate the square root of 2 to be? Thais says that the square root of 1 is 1, and she has a question mark there. So yes, if you guys have it open, perfect square roots, yes, the square root of 1 is 1 because 1 times 1 is 1. Okay, so let's put that down. The square root of 1 is 1. How about the square root of 4, guys? You guys have been doing that in the warm-up. Two. Thank you, dear. Okay, so now this one, I need some approximations. What do you think? What would you estimate this one to be? So I'll change my symbol. It's not equal to, it's going to be approximately. What do we want to approximate that to? And also, like, what do you kind of notice too? Anybody? What do we want to approximate this one to be? You guys still there? I'm looking for you guys to approximate the square root of 2. Don't use a calculator, please. Just use what we've been doing with these warm-ups. You guys have been establishing what the square root of numbers are, even if they're not perfect. I think 3 because of the pattern 1, 2, 3. So you think the 3 would go here? If it was a pattern of 1, 2, 3, wouldn't it be over here? Like, for example, square root of 9, we know is 3. We did that up here. But you're right, there's a pattern. So what do we want to estimate this to be? Let's see. No, never mind. This is important. It's going to help people establish what actually belongs here. Anybody? Come on, guys. It's okay. Just like it doesn't have to be the right answer. It just needs to be an answer so that we can move on. We literally only have 8 minutes left, and the task is still not set up completely. We've just introduced it, right? So we gotta move. I got 1.4 as my closest. Okay, what do you mean? How did you get that? Because no calculators. What if you weren't using a calculator? What would you have said or estimated? Because then we could test it out. Were you trying a whole bunch of numbers, Thais? Because if you were, that's kind of the point of the exercise. So it would be helpful to hear what numbers you were trying. All right, so I want to actually write this down too. So is approximately, I don't want to put it here yet. I'll put it here, that it's approximately 1.4. I'll put it there for now. But if we, let me see. Yes, ma'am. I was counting up like 1.1, 1. Oh, okay. So let me, all right. So then, okay. So she says that she was just testing it out. She was doing, okay, what's 1.1 times 1.1? What's 1.2 times 1.2? Okay, okay, that's cool. If in the past, in our other warm-ups, we would have said something like, okay, and this is kind of like what Escalon was kind of getting at. It's going like 1, 2, 3. So there's 1, 2, 3 here, but then it could be square root 1, square root 2. We could have square root 3 here, square root 4, and so on and so forth. There's that pattern there. Yeah, and then solve it to see which one is closer. That's cool. Very cool. Now, we might have said to ourselves, okay, 2 is sandwiched between 1 and 4. So could it be 1.5? But hopefully you would notice that 2 is closer to 1 than it is to 4. So it's not perfectly in the middle. So what happens when you do, everybody right now, please, in your now you could use a calculator. What happens when you do 1.5 times 1.5? What do you get? One 1.5 times 1.5, what do you get? Anybody? 1.5 times 1.5, what do you get? $2.25. Okay, good. 1.5 times 1.5 is 2.25, and that is actually over 2. So we don't like that. Now Thais said, how about 1.4 times 1.4? And what did you get when you did that? What did you get when you did 1.4 times 1.4? 1.96, and that's a lot closer to 2 than 2.25. So far, we really like this one. Now, what you're going to do in the task now, there's 2 questions there. So, and what it means is this. So, you know how we started with this one? What's the fraction form for 1 and 1.5? What is the fraction form for 1.5? That's why I have this right here. What's the fraction of it? We're almost done. And then you guys will be set up to attempt it and submit it. Fraction form for 1.5 is 3 halves, right? Because 3 divided by 2 equals 1.5. Now we saw up here that 3 halves times 3 halves is 9/4. Now, you see right here, when we do 1.5 times 1.5, and we get, if we square the whole thing, we get 9/4. And if we square 1.5, you said that we get 2.25. And you can't see that right now. There you go. So this is what the task is asking you to do. It's asking you to continue to come up with fractions like this to see how close we could actually get to the square root of 2, and if we could find an exact answer. Like square root of 4 is just 2. Square root of 9 is just 3. It's perfect square roots. So is that possible? Right? So I need you guys to experiment. Try to keep finding fractions that you could divide and see if you can come up with an exact answer to square root of 2. Someone said, oh, wait. Oh, okay. You were thinking that 49/25 might be it? And then she says, oh, wait. Okay, Thais, don't answer. Don't answer in chat. That answer that you're thinking right now, I need you to put that in your task and submit that. Okay? And tell us what you're thinking. Does anybody have any questions about what I covered? Because now you guys are set up for your task and you can submit it. And then we can follow up with discussion and analysis on Tuesday. That'll be a good discussion. Any questions at all, guys? All right, I'm going to end there. And then if you have any questions, just please reach out to me, either commenting on the assignment or emailing me, okay? Plus, I have office hours after this from 10 to 12, all right? So if you have any questions, you can also ask there. Thank you very much for participating. Really appreciate it.